Yoruba doesn't want war. We don't want our land to be like the North. Gani Adams speaks tough. Amidst the food blockage by the Northerners, the Yoruba Generalissimo Iba Gani Adams has reacted to what is playing out between the North and the South. Speaking via an interview granted to Alaroye Online TV, the Ari Onakanfo said the handwriting of the North is getting clearer now more than ever. He said some Yoruba leaders had recently met with him and expressed their readiness to take a proactive step on the issue of security, particularly that of criminal Fulani herdsmen in the southwest region. The factional leader of the Odua People's Congress, OPC, formed and led by the main leader Frederick Fashehun until his death in 2018, said Yoruba doesn't prepare for enemies, but only reacts when held by the jugular. Speaking on the division in Yorubaland due to the existence of many social-cultural groups, he added that there is no progressive tribe in the world without enmity among them. He cited the North as a reference point, saying the region also has different groups. It is not only a consultative forum that exists in the North. Do you know how many northern elder groups are in the North? Even OPC has 2 to 3 factions. It is a blessing therein, he submitted. It may not be a good tale, but in sweetness there is always bitterness. He, however, said whenever it has become issue of common interest, there's always a synergy amongst diverse factions. We don't know whose mother or father will be maimed by Fulani tomorrow, and when there is hunger, you will submit yourself to your enemies, the Generalissimo said. He revealed that the recent meeting held by different Yoruba groups was to chart the way forward for security in the region. The Are Onakankanfo said Yoruba doesn't want war, saying that we don't want to experience what is going on in the northeast, northwest, and sometimes the middle belt, where those regions have turned to a theater of war occasioned by the terrorist activities of Boko Haram bandits and killer herdsmen. This is all groups in Yorubaland must share a common ground and nip a repeat of situation in the north in the bud here in the southwest. Recall that in recent times, the alarming rate of insecurity in the southwest has become a major concern following the infiltration of killer headsmen who hide inside the deep forests to commit all sorts of atrocities, ranging from kidnapping, killing, raping to collecting ransoms from their victims. I guess that's what it is. Well, the first comment here says, always talking, what have you done to protect the lives and properties of Yorubas ravaged by Fulanis? I guess so, because to be honest, I didn't really get anything from the interview, from the article, because it's just words. You're not proactive. And I guess that's what this person is trying to say. Like, how are you trying to protect the Yorubas from the herdsmen that have literally destroyed their properties, their businesses, and all that? You're just saying that Yoruba doesn't want war. No one wants war. Why would you want to do that? It's too costly. If we could avoid it, they can. But someone says the government is complicit in the vicious happenings in the country. Abacha said if banditry persists in any part of the country for more than a day, the government knows about it. That tells it all about this government and herdsmen banditry problems. True, the government, they will not do anything about it. The government, they're very smart and very strategic, and so when they do not reply, there's always a reason behind it. There is always a reason and something that they really don't want us to know, to be very honest. And unfortunately, this is how it's turned out. Someone has said, since the North is no longer safe, tell the over 11 million Yorubas to go back to the West. Again, it's not a tribal thing. The country does put in divisive tactics for us to be distracted and not blame them, but then look at ourselves as the problems, when really they are the ones that should actually be getting all the blame and getting all the heat for their incompetence, for their for their lack of, proactivity, for basically not protecting and making sure that security is handled properly and people feel secure and safe. Again, it's not surprising. I don't really feel like we should hold this government to any high moral standard or any standard at all, because they have not proven to even make a standard or even reach the standard set for them before. So it's not even a thing of, okay, fine, what can they do? How can we hold them accountable? If from 2009, Boko Haram has been terrorizing the north and we're in 2021, and yet it's taking them so long to go and fight, then it says a lot. It shows what the priority of the government is and what their long-term aim is. Because again, if it's IPOB that's, planning something, or if IPOB is planning anything, to be honest, or they're just existing, literally shakes the government. And then that's when they'd be able to send, private investigators, send helicopters, all these arms and everything. But then they can afford this, but then if it's to fight Boko Haram, they can't. And also, even with bandits, they literally pay bandits. They negotiate with bandits. They go into forests to negotiate with bandits. And then obviously there's now an attack on kids, on the next generation of Nigerian leaders. You have to see how strategic this is, that they actually want, because then it's a different thing if violence was happening and, it's just a general thing where it's a different news every single day from here. But right now, it seems like the focus is the young children, to traumatize them. And of course, with such things, you think any parent would be like, I want to send my child to school in the north? Education will stop. These are all things that are strategic to make sure that, okay, fine, this generation, because they now know that this generation is awake, and they know that, these people are awake, and we can't fight them because they're already developed in their thinking and their mindset. They've lived in the country. So then they attack the younger ones who are the actual leaders of tomorrow. And it's sad. It's sad. But then if Nigerians want to go and protest legally, which is their right, they literally send the most. Some units that weren't even public security officers were literally at the toll gate when Mr. Macaroni was arrested. They literally had a whole new dress code. They were chanting, it's sad. It's absolutely sad. Because it's like, we're fighting for the same thing that you want as well. And if you're gonna sell your birthright and the birthright of your kids to come and your neighbors just because of what they're gonna give you. Honestly, 2023, we're dragging the ballot boxes. That's it. Put what you think in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.